Hi everyone, my name is Denise. I'm a health freedom activist in Northern California. I am also a Freedom Angel. You can find this at freedomangels.org. I want to jump on real quick. I haven't done very many lives, and unfortunately Instagram is not allowing me to save my videos, so I can't put them on my IGTV. But I'm going to do the best I can today, and then I'm going to do a YouTube video, so that way it is going to go onto my YouTube channel, The Informed Mama. I want to talk to you guys about your pregnancy and what you can do to protect yourself and your baby. I know I'm going to get a lot of questions, so at the end, I'll answer the questions. I wrote down some notes so I don't forget, but right now it's really important to understand the laws in your state and understand how to protect yourself and your child should you go into labor and your hospital bullies you into vaccines. Don't be worried. This is the thing. So for so long, so many of us have just settled with the doctor that our insurance company gives us, right? We're like, we call, you guys accepting new patients, cool, you're my doctor. This is a mistake that we've made. It's incredibly important to interview your doctor and interview the hospital you're going to have your children in, because you're paying your insurance. This is actually, they're your employees. So you have to take that extra step and interview your doctors. Anybody can do it. Even if you're on Medi-Cal, anything, you can still interview your doctors, because it's super important that they understand where you're coming from, and they know that you're not going to change your mind with anything. And yes, the better thing to do would be home birth. That is my absolutely first piece of advice. I know a lot of people feel they can't do it, but it's, this is on my live, so you can go back and watch it 24 hours. I don't know if Instagram is going to let me save it right now. So you want to interview these doctors, and if you can, you want a home birth. Home births run anywhere between, depending on your state. California, it's $4,000 to $5,000, and you can do payment arrangements. And I know not everybody can do that, but if you can, that is the first step in making sure that you are protected and your children are protected. So you're pregnant and your doctor is telling you that you need to get the DTaP vaccine and the flu shot. I would really encourage you guys to look at the vaccines and to look how they protect or don't protect you. The DTaP vaccine is actually just, all it does is make you an asymptomatic carrier. So it doesn't prevent pertussis. What it does is it prevents you from knowing you have pertussis. So it's actually easier to infect someone else if you do get sick, because you don't know that you're sick. So the best place for you guys to find this information for the DTaP and the flu, because the flu shot has never been tested on pregnant women. The CDC actually says that it's unethical to test vaccines on pregnant women. So the best website that I can encourage you guys to go to is crazymothers.info, vaccine.guide, or Vaxxter, Vaxxter, and that's Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. So yeah, home births are the way to go. So what's actually happening now across the states is women are now being told that they can get the MMR vaccine and the Gardasil vaccine after they've delivered their children. This is extremely dangerous, as the MMR is a live vaccine and you can shed. It's on the CDC website. You can be contagious for up to 6 weeks. You don't want to give your brand new baby any type of illnesses that we try to protect our children. So that's something that you're going to want to look into as well. I don't know how to pin. If you guys want to tell me how to do Instagram, I'd be happy to do it, but I honestly do not know how to work this. I'm old. I don't really know how to do it. So that's something that you do want to look into. So it's the MMR, the DTaP, the flu, and the Gardasil. Now the Gardasil is going to be the vaccine that actually brings the pharmaceutical companies down as the lawsuits are coming. You cannot sue, you cannot sue the pharmaceutical companies for injury or death when it comes to vaccines, but you can sue for fraud. And with the Gardasil vaccine, it was proven that they committed fraud. Also with the MMR vaccine, it is proven they committed fraud. If you did not know, Merck is currently in litigation right now for falsifying the data for the MMR, the mumps part of the vaccine, on efficacy. They used rabbit's blood because it wasn't coming up with the percentage that they needed. So they are currently in litigation right now. So this is fraud, and they can be sued. My best advice is to create a birth plan. So birth plans it's a list of things that you do and do not want. You give it to your doctor before you give birth, right? So I did it like 3, any things to do if you're forced. There is no reason to be forced to vaccinate. None. There is no law in any state to vaccinate. So this is up to you to protect yourself and your children. Nobody can force you to vaccinate your child. So this is why I encourage you guys to look up the laws in your state, understand the Constitution part of your laws, the law of the land. For that, you can go to emmasmith.knowyourfamilyrights.org. That page gives you your constitutional rights of how CPS can and cannot investigate you. So your birth plan, you want to give it to your doctor and to the hospital in advance. So you want to let your doctor know, these are the things I do want, these are the things I do not want, and you give it to your hospital as well. If they say we don't accept birth plans, they're lying, first of all. Second of all, then you go back to your doctor and you tell them, this is in writing, this is what I want. If it's not done this way, I will sue you for assault. So the best place to go to for birth plans, if you are on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, then you can email me, TheInformedMama at Proton Mail, and subject line at birth plan. But it's really hard for me to get to my messages. So I need you guys to try to do this on your own first. It's Facebook Holistic Action in the Vaccine Library. My friend Denise Young has created multiple birth plans so you can see which ones you like, which ones fit you best, and you can turn it into your doctor. There's a few things that you do want to look into. So the first one is the vitamin K. If you are not in a traumatic event like car accident, then there's really no reason to get the vitamin K. You can actually eat a diet rich in vitamin K like kale, and the baby gets it from your body. A lot of doctors say that if you circumcise, then you should get it. My best part of advice would be don't circumcise. Hospitals actually sell the baby's foreskin to cosmetic companies, and they make a fortune off of it. So that's the really only reason why they continue to encourage circumcision. There's no medical necessity to circumcise your child. So you have your birth plan, you go to the hospital, you decide no vitamin K, you decide the eye ointment is actually for mothers who test positive for chlamydia. So they give it to the babies. It's antibiotics they put on the eyes. And this introducing antibiotics at such a young age, brand new baby, is actually incredibly dangerous. So unless you do have chlamydia, you can I hate C-sections, but if you do have chlamydia, gonorrhea, you can opt for a C-section so the baby doesn't go through the birth canal. What else? You also want to look at delayed cord clamping. So delayed cord clamping, I know a lot of parents, they have their babies and the umbilical cord comes and they cut that umbilical cord as soon as you have the baby. That umbilical cord actually has so much cells, the beautiful blood cells that you need and that hospitals collect to treat certain illnesses. They keep the blood. So what I ask that you guys to do is to look into that. Look into delayed cord clamping. You do not cut the cord until it stops pulsating. So the blood's all done, the cord is white, and the baby has all those beautiful stem cells. So, okay, so the eye ointment. If you are positive for chlamydia or gonorrhea, that is why they put the eye ointment on your child. If you do not have chlamydia or gonorrhea, you do not need to put the eye ointment on the child. So if you do have it, then you can opt for a C-section, so that way the baby does not go through the birth canal. I do not like C-sections. I think that it is incredibly invasive and most of the time unnecessary because the doctors get extra money on that. But it's better than putting antibiotics on your child's eye. Yes, so C-section instead of eye ointment to avoid passing STD. I don't know if I didn't make myself clear on that. Sorry if I didn't. You also want to look at no bath. You have that beautiful white, milky, vernix that covers the baby. This is a beautiful thing that has so much nutrients in it. You keep it on your baby. You do not need to give your baby a bath directly after. I didn't give my son a bath until a week later because it's unnecessary. Babies aren't dirty. They're not born dirty. So these are the things that you can put in your birth plan. So no hepatitis B. And I'm not telling you to do this, but this is the birth plan that I had. No hepatitis B because my child is not having sex with, men with men or having sex with a person infected with hepatitis B. They're not sharing drugs, needles, any of that. So Hep B is actually what they started using to train parents to continue to vaccinate because they saw an increase in parents who continued the vaccine schedule if they were told the first day of life they needed to get this one vaccine. So those are the things that you have to be proactive on. Again, the best sites are crazymothers.info, vaccine.guide. These are where you're going to be able to find the vaccine inserts, the information on the black box warning for the vitamin K. So the black box warning is saying that a child can die after receiving the vitamin K. So these are the best forms of action for you to take for yourself. If you cannot find anything, a birth plan, so you can go to Holistic Action in the Vaccine Library on Facebook to find out what is the best birth plan for you. And thank you guys for putting down the information on this thread because I don't know how to do it. So now you've had your baby and the hospital comes to you and says that you need to sign the refusal to vaccinate form. This is incredibly important. You do not sign it. It originally started for insurance companies. So you go to the doctor and you refuse to vaccinate and they have nothing to bill. So they go back to their insurance companies with this form. The insurance companies will reimburse. You know what? Vitamin K is not necessary. Eat a diet rich in vitamin K. I do not believe in any pharmaceutical drugs given to babies. So you want to make sure that you, I forgot where I was. See, I can't answer questions because I get really, really sidetracked. So, the refusal to vaccinate form. You have your baby. They tell you that you need to sign this refusal form before you leave the doctor's office. It was for the insurance companies, but if you actually read that form, it says that you understand you're putting yourself, your child at risk should there be an outbreak. You will be held responsible. So an outbreak is 3 or more. So they're telling you that you understand vaccines are life-saving, that you understand the importance of vaccines, that your doctor has read the inserts with you and given you the real-time information, and that you understand that your child can infect another child in that practice, and you will be held liable. Outbreaks are 3 or more, according to the Center for Disease Control. So I always say you do not need to sign that form. The doctors are going to be really, really pushy because they want to A, get reimbursed, B, want to be covered in case there is an outbreak. So if you just want to get out of the situation without being bullied the way that normally it happens, what you can do, you can write your own. So you can say, your name, am opting out of this pharmaceutical product or opting out of this medical procedure, and I will not hold this doctor's office liable. Now, you do not have to sign it. It is not a law to sign it, but it does become a legal contract if you do sign it. So it's important that you don't. Now, if you do sign it, what you can do, you can create your own form. So you can say, I was not given the proper information. So my name, have opted out of this medical procedure. My previous form is null and void as I was not given the proper information to make this decision when signing. Or if your doctor bullied you, I signed under duress. This is my statement. So I am opting out of this medical procedure. I will not hold the doctor's office liable. That's it. You do not want to get into a big thing. So if you did sign it, you go down to your children's hospital or clinic and you put that form into your child's medical record. They have to accept it. Anything that you write that you need to put in your child's form will stay in your child's medical record. So you put it in the form or you put it in your records. And if you still get bullied, then I would suggest you change doctors and you start interviewing these doctors and asking them, do you believe in parental rights? That is my question I ask when I go to a pediatrician's office. So these are the things that are incredibly important. So birth plans, know the vitamin K, know the Hep B, know the eye ointment, the vernix, and the delayed cord clamping. So these are the things that you want to do to protect your child and protect, yes, you sign it. Oh, that's another thing. Thank you so much for telling me about that form. So when you go into the doctor's office or into the hospital to have your baby, you sign that electronic form, right? So you sign in, you don't even know what you're signing at this point because you just sign your name. I really encourage you guys to ask them for the hard copies of what you're signing, and you sign no biologic, no biogenic, no inoculations without parental consent. That electronic signature pad gives the hospital complete consent to do whatever medical procedures they deem is necessary to save your life. They feel vaccines save lives. So if you just sign that electronic form and you don't get a hard copy, then you are signing your consent for them to vaccinate your child, to vaccinate you, even if you verbally said no. Just remember, if it didn't happen on paper, it didn't happen at all. Paper trails, documentation are the most important thing you can do to make sure that you are safe and your children are safe. So they're going to give you a big old, oh, we don't do those forms or blah, 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 blah. They're lazy and they don't want you to have the hard copies. So you say, well, I can't sign anything until I have those forms. So you have to ask for the hard copies and you keep one for your records and you give them the other hard copy. They will bully you. They will harass you. I was harassed when I had my son. Just know, coercion is not consent. And if they bully you, you contact the California Medical Board and you file a complaint against that doctor. You contact the California, if you're whatever state you're in, Nurses Association, and you file a complaint against that nurse. Coercion is not consent, and them bullying you is reportable to the board. They report our doctors, you need to report your doctors. So yes, when you go into the clinic, when you go into your hospital to have your baby, they're going to have you, can you please sign in? Can you please sign this form? Ask for the hard copies. No biologic, no biogenic, no inoculation without parental consent. They told me that yes, I'm going to, so I had my son in May 2014. And at this time, I was really unsure of what I wanted to do. I mean, I knew that vaccines were not something that I wanted to continue to do, but I wasn't 100% sure. And when I had my son, I said, I'm going to wait until he's like 5, until his immune system is a little bit more mature before I vaccinate him. So the doctor came in to my room and I just had my son. It was completely hormonal. I was having a really hard time. And the doctor came in and said, so I heard you're not going to vaccinate or circumcise. Did you know that you're going to kill your son? You're going to kill him. This is what they told me. And you guys need to know you have to take somebody in there with you because you are hormonal and you just had a baby and sometimes you do give in. Have somebody with you to make sure that they record it. to make sure that they stand up for you if you are unable to do it for yourself. Make sure your partner there is there or your family members there. And if you don't have anybody, then contact me and I will find somebody in your state to go to the hospital with you. If you're in California, I'm in Northern California. If you're going to the doctor's office and you're scared, contact me. I will go with you. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Sorry. Okay, I'm almost done. Hold on. So this is what my best thing is for my best advice for you guys. I will try to do a YouTube video and to recap all of this. But you guys should know that you have rights, and these are your children. These doctors are your employees. You pay for those doctor visits. You pay your insurance. You have every right to interview your doctor, and you have every right to fire your doctor. And you find a hospital that they don't have to support your decision, but they do support parental rights. They must. Best place to contact me, and I am behind on my emails. I still have emails from like 6 months ago. So you can email me at theinformedmama@protonmail.com and subject line it whatever issue it is that you're having. And we will find you an advocate if you need to. Or the best, actually, another email is freedomangels@protonmail.com. We have other people helping with that. So that would be another great place to go. So a big issue is CPS. They're scared. So doctors, hospitals contract with CPS. That's why you see them there so quickly. So what I would suggest, if you decide that, you're not going to do the well baby visits, you're not going to do the vaccines, you're not going to go into these sick doctor's offices with a healthy baby, what you do, and this is what I do, you don't want to get mixed up with CPS, and you don't want them saying that it's medical neglect. The best thing to do is to not medically neglect your children. You go to the doctor's office twice a year. I go every 6 months. My favorites are, my doctor is actually not pushy and she's pretty amazing, but sometimes I have to go to an urgent care. So you go to an urgent care and, this is not getting around the system. You're actually going and the doctor's looking at your child and they're notating the child's skin color, nutrition wise, if they're meeting their milestones, and you have to now keep your children's medical information in a binder at all times. I have all 3 of my children's medical information ready to go should CPS say that I'm medically neglecting. I can't give you my doctor's information, but I'll help you find somebody if you need to, but that's what I have to do. I mean, I've had CPS called on me before, and having your information ready, if CPS comes to your door, we'd like to talk to you on medical neglect. Nope. First of all, and this is where you go to emmasmith.knowyourfamilyrights.org. You know how CPS can and cannot investigate you. So they have to ask for a warrant first. You ask for a warrant first. Bottom line, if they don't have a warrant, get out of here. It doesn't matter if they come with a sheriff's officer or if they come with a police officer as an escort. If you guys don't have a warrant, I cannot talk to you. So you can request your child's medical records. You go down to your clinic, doctor's office. You pay, it's like 25 cents a page. You pay for your child's medical records. You put it in a binder ready to go. So if CPS does come, nope, here you go. You are not required to go to your well child visits. So every visit, well child, is 2, 4, 6 months. Those all coincide with the vaccine schedule. I don't take my healthy child into a clinic that has sick children, bottom line. But I do take them twice a year to make sure that they're developing properly, that the doctor notates all the information should CPS pay me a visit. And just know, when you go to a doctor's office or you have an emergency, you're going to be asked if that child is up to date on vaccines. My son had a burn, and I, in a panic, said, no, he's not vaccinated. Oh, well, you need to give your child a DTaP vaccine. And I opted out. And within 20 minutes, I had CPS downstairs waiting to talk to me. You have to be comfortable with your rights. You have to know your rights. I know these videos are informative, but they're not going to give you all the information you need. So you have to know what your state's laws are. You have to be prepared in case anything happens, and you have to know your rights for parental rights in your state. You can, but I don't do that anymore. I used to lie and I don't anymore. I'm completely comfortable taking a doctor on, and I'm completely comfortable taking a nurse on. So come at me and I'll tell you, no, my child is not vaccinated. No, we will not have vaccines. Call CPS on me. I dare you. This is what happens when you are empowered. You are the parents. California is trying to take our parental rights, and they can't take it if you fight for it. So fight your ass off for your children. Know your rights. Emma Smith /knowyourfamilyrights.org is a great website to go to understand the law of the land and understand how to protect yourself against CPS. So that's my spiel. I'm going to try to save this. If I can't, I'm sorry. I will try to do another one on my YouTube channel, The Informed Mama. And if I cannot, then I will keep trying. I'll go on Facebook and I'll save it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. I'm coming.